Hello everyone, welcome to my channel.
Now we want to have solution to computer hardware components. Computer hardware components tutorial. So, all right. So you are welcome to the solution to the tutorial, the computer hardware components tutorial 2023. We want to look at the solution to the few questions that we had as tutorial 2 weeks ago. So you could check the channel if you haven't seen the question. You see the question on the channel. I will also leave for you a link in the description of this video to that video. And don't forget, you are welcome. If you are new on this channel, please subscribe to the channel and give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to click the notification bell also in order to be notified when we bring another video like this. So let's look at the questions. This is the first question on the screen that we are looking at. It says, explain briefly the voltages used by the computer system. That hands you 3 points. Now, the voltages used by a computer system, we have 3 levels of voltages, 12 volts, 5 volts, and 3.3 volts. The 12 volts is for devices that have motors that drive something, like the fan is using 12 volts. So the 12 volts is for that. But for other circuits, we have lower voltage, 5 volts and 3.3 volts for the other digital circuits. So we have 3 levels of voltages make use of in the personal computer. So these voltages are what we are told to explain about their functions. Okay. So those are the lower voltages used by the computer, the 3 levels of voltages. We have 12 volts, like I said, 5 volts and 3.3 volts. Now, the main voltage that you connect to the system is 220 volts, 240 volts, or 110 volts, depending on your location. Here in Nigeria, we use 220 volts from the wall outlet. That is the voltage you connect to the system. Internally, the power supply unit converts this voltage to the lower voltage levels that we've mentioned, 12 volts, the 5 volts, and the 3.3 volts. That is what the computer utilizes internally. It's not directly utilized the AC 220 volts that you connect to the system from the socket outlet. It does not utilize that directly. But it's processed, voltage is processed to a lower voltage and converted to a DC voltage before the computer utilizes it. So that is it. And in other parts of the world, they use 120 volts. For instance, in the United States, in Canada, they use 120 volts. In Japan, they use 100 volts, 50 hertz. In the United Kingdom, they use 240 volts, 50 hertz. Nigeria and Europe, we use 220 volts, 50 hertz. That is the wall outlet voltage that you connect to your PC. For the PC, we convert it internally using from the power supply unit, converts it. So it's converted by power supply unit to 12 volts, 5 volts, and 3.3 volts, like we have mentioned. That is question number 1, the answer to question number 1. All right, let's look at question number 2. Question number 2 is a table that we have here. We are told to look at the table. That's this table here. That's we want to determine the rating of the power supply units that will be installed in this computer that requires all the hardware listed on this table and the power rating accordingly. You can see the screen. AGP card, the first one is 30 watts. PCI card is 5 watts. SI PCI card, 25 watts. SOX CD-ROM drive, 10 to 25 watts. So here we have a range of voltage, so we can pick the highest, the maximum. Then we have for RAM, 2 gigabytes RAM. Then we have 5 watts per 128 MB. So when we look at how many 128 MB can you get from 2 gigabytes, then multiply it by 5. Then we have a 5200 RPM integrated drive electronics hard drive. So add it to drive 5 to 15, so we can choose 15 watts. That's the maximum. Then we have motherboard without the CPU or the RAM, 20 to 30 watts. So we're going to choose 30 watts for that. you choose the highest available power rating for your calculation. Then we have a Pentium 3 processor. Actually, this is just an ordinary question. Pentium 3 is, you may not be able to see that in the market today. So the processor takes a 30 watts. So what we need to do is to sum up all the total power here, and then we'll now determine what will be the next available power rating after we have increased it by about 25%. So we see that as we calculate it on the board. That is the second question. And there's question B here that if it is desired that after a few months of use, we want to install a TV tuner card of 25 watt power rating to the computer. So what is the upgrade that will be needed? Do we need to upgrade the power supply unit or something else in the computer? So we're going to answer that also. That one is based on the answer you get on question A here, question 2A. Question 2A will determine whether we are needing upgrade or not in question B.
Number 2, we are given the various values of components to be installed in this particular computer. So we are going to sum up the total power. Now, total power equals AGP card 30, everything in watts. Peripheral components, that's PCI card, 5 watts, plus SCSI PCI card, 25, plus CD-ROM drive, 10 to 25, so we are going to pick the highest, 25, plus we have we have the RAM, 2 GB RAM, 5 per 128 MB. So out of 2 gig, let's look at 2 gig. Before we determine the total power consumed by RAM, let's look at 2 gig. How much is 2 gig? 2 gigabytes is equal to how much? 2 gigabytes is actually 2048 megabytes. Okay, so when we are told that 128 megabyte consumes 5 watts, so we want to determine how much 128 megabyte are we going to get here. So for that, you can say 248 divided by 128. So let's look at that. Gives us 16. So we are going to have 128 megabytes inside the 2 gig, 16 of them. So it means we are going to have 16 times 5. 16 times 5 plus that of the power of a hard disk drive, integrated drive electronics, 5200 RPM integrated drive electronics hard disk drive, 5 to 15. So we are going to pick 15 watts. And then motherboard with style CPU or RAM, 20 to 30. We are going to pick 30 watts. And then lastly, 550 MHz Pentium 3, 30 watts plus another 30 plus 30. Add up the total of this. So 16 times 5, then added to the others. 240 watts. So 240 watts is the total power required by all these devices. Now, you will not go to the market and buy 240 watts PSU, that is power supply unit. No. What do? Because you are installing from the scratch, you will add about 25% more wattage to this. So let's look at that. So the power required will be the total here, right now, plus 25% more of this, of the total calculated here. So we are going to have 240 plus 0.25 times 240, and that's 300 watts. So we are going to now use 300 watts instead of 240. Why? Because in the future, the computer may require more power, probably because you are upgrading some components, or you are bringing in new adapter cards that were not installed before, and they will require power. And the same power will come from the power of the PSU. So we have to upgrade it from the scratch. You have to estimate, predict for the future by adding 25% more wattage to what you have now. So we are going to use 300 watts. That is for the first question. So the answer to the first question is 300 watts, question A. Then question B, they say we are going to install a TV tuner card of question B requires a TV tuner card of 25 watts. TV card, and the wattage is 25 watts. So if you are bringing in 25 watts into this system that was consuming 240 watts but has installed 300 watts PSU, do we need to upgrade anything in order to accommodate the 25 watts of the TV card? So let's look at it. The original consumption is 240 watts. If you add 25 watts to it, what happens? New wattage required, new power required will now be 240 plus 25 watts, and that is 265 watts. So 265 watts is now what will be the devices will be consuming when we have TV card installed. You now realize that it is still within the 300 watts that we initially installed, since we have added extra wattage to the PSU from the start. So for this reason, we don't have to upgrade the PSU. PSU is 300 watts, we have 265 watts. That's the new power consumption. So no need to upgrade the PSU, the power supply unit. But at the same time, there will be installation of drivers for the TV card. So the only thing we need to add is to install driver. Upgrade is not needed. Upgrade to PSU, not recommended, not needed. Okay? So the only thing we have to upgrade is install the TV card drivers, and that's all. So if you have this and this points written, you get full marks for that. You get the total points for that question, and that's the solution to it. So don't forget to like and share the video, give us a thumbs up, and also smash the notification bell. So we'll move on to question 3.
Question 3. Question 3 is added as question C in the tutorial video, but it's supposed to be question 3. The question 3 is write short notes on the computer cooling system. So there are many things that you can write here. There are many things, even though short. The computer cooling system is made up of the heatsink and fan and the perforations on the case. That is the cooling system. So the system is such that heatsink absorbs heat from components such as the processor, and then the fan blows air to the heatsink to cool it down so that the heat will be removed from the processor. And then we have another fan also attached to the case that removes hot air from inside the computer to the inside. Now that is possible because there are perforations on the case. So the perforations, they are not for fancy, they are not for beautification of the case, but rather they are for cooling of the system, so that cool air will go in to replace hot air will come out. So the fan attached to the case is designed such that it can remove hot air from inside to the outside. It's not blowing air from outside of the case to the inside, but rather it's dragging hot air from inside out to the outside environment. Then we also have another fan attached to the power supply unit. That's another fan cooling the power supply unit also. The power supply unit also has perforations that ensure that hot air from inside is dragged into the outside. So that is a computer cooling system. That is how it works. So if you mention all this, you get 3 points for this particular question. So if you like and share this video, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. And then give us a thumbs up for the video. And you can smash the notification bell so that another time when we are bringing interesting videos like this, you get notified. So until another time, bye.